Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a wonderful Wednesday. Today, we're going to be diving into the weird and wonderful world of CNFTs. Today, we're just really going to be going over some of the projects that we previously mentioned that are on our watch list, take a look at how they're doing, review some of the crazy numbers that some of these CNFTs are going for in terms of ADA, and really set out what we're going to be doing in the future. I think this is episode 4. We're going to be doing a lot more with CNFTs. We're going to be jumping into a lot of different projects. But today it's just going to be a chilled out one. And we're going to mention potentially what we've got coming in this week for this sort of series that we're doing on the channel. We're going to be getting into a number of mints this week. And I'm going to be sharing that with you as we progress into the future. A number of mints. We're going to be buying at mint price a number of CNFT projects that we think have a very promising horizon. And one thing I really want to do, you can't really ignore the NFT space as a whole, not just on Cardano, but of course Ethereum is the largest, and then you've got a number of other chains. One thing I really want to stress is that we're still early in the CNFT space. NFTs on Ethereum have seen amazing adoption. We've seen all kinds of celebrities jump into it. Everyone knows that Eminem bought a Bored Ape Yacht Club for a ridiculous amount of money, and NFTs have changed people's lives in a number of cases. Now, I think the NFT space is still... I think it's very valued, but I think it's still got a lot of room to grow. And I think when we start to see platforms like Coinbase, we know Binance are looking to launch an NFT marketplace, sort of start to move in that direction, start to provide a marketplace, a mainstream marketplace for people to go and buy NFTs, we're going to see the space continue to kind of gain adoption as a whole. And I think CNFTs haven't really seen any kind of significant volume yet. I think certainly significant given where we've come from, but I think the main kind of CNFT boom is yet to come. And I think there's a huge value proposition in there. Now, remember, buying CNFTs is extremely risky given how small it is. And not every single project that you choose is going to do well, but the value for me really is that I don't need every project to do well. I just want one or two CNFT projects that do extremely well that I've invested in. And we've seen things like Bosscat Rocket Club do very well. And that was one on our watch list. So let's just quickly do a recap of our watch list. Unfortunately, guys, I'm not in my usual location, so I'm just going to have to use a previous YouTube video, episode 3. This is, of course, episode 4. We had Goat Tribe, Space Ape Club, Chill Kongs, and Bosscat Rocket Club. And we added ADA Apocalypse. I think the ADA Apocalypse floor that we added was 60 ADA at the time. So we'll take a look at these quickly before we get into anything else. So let's start with, what do we got first? We've got Bosscat Rocket Club. We shouted this out at 420 ADA, great number. And the floor currently state is 1,490. So serious gain that you've made there. These were a lot higher. Lots of people messaging me saying there's a lot of price manipulation going on with these individuals. I'm not the one manipulating the price, so I don't care. Ultimately, I'm here to make money, and that's what investing in these CNFTs are for me. They're a money-making opportunity. Yes, I do think they're very creative and cool, but this is a way for me to increase the amount of ADA that I have. And I know some people may take offense to that, but one thing that may cheer you up about that is I haven't sold a CNFT today. I could have flipped many of my CNFTs at a significantly higher price, but I'm holding for the reasons that I've previously mentioned. I think that CNFT boom is still yet to happen, and that's the whole value proposition here. So these guys have done very, very well. We did see a Bosscat Rocket Club. I'll see if I've got the tweet here. Sell for a crazy amount of money. A few days ago, I think it was. This is a Bosscat Rocket Club number 3934. Was market bought on jpg.store, which is where we buy our CNFTs from, because you don't need to create an account. You can just connect your wallet in the same way you use ADAX and start trading and selling and so on. This was bought for 22,500 Cardano, roughly $26,000. So a lot of people always say they don't see the value in CNFTs, and I've previously said they were a fad, they were garbage, I wouldn't touch them. But the reality is, people do find value in them, and if that's the case, then that's the case. It's not for me to judge. The beauty is always in the eye of the beholder, and if there's a trend to be caught, I'll catch it, and that's what I'm doing with CNFTs. So these are selling for crazy money. The floor on these a couple of days ago was about 2K. I did debate selling some of I've got 2 Bosscat Rocket Clubs. What I am going to do is share my Nami wallet with you guys and show you what I've got. We're going to do that later on in the series, but we own a Bosscat Rocket Club. We own a couple. and I'm very happy with my purchase. I actually got them cheaper than when we shouted them out, around about 350. So I wasn't the earliest, but I wasn't the latest. I'd certainly been viewing them prior to that, but decided to take the plunge around about that sort of price. So the second one we got is Space Ape Club. Now these have done okay. We shouted them out at 100 ADA. At one point they had a 200 ADA floor. What you've got to remember with these is I was picking these up at 40, 30 ADA, and I haven't sold any yet, and that is me being genuine. But what other people are doing is if they picked them up at that price and they're trying to make money and flip them, they're going to be happy to sell at 100, they're going to be happy to sell at 150. So you've got to kind of flush those initial buyers out to raise the floor, and that takes time. But this is a project that's got a lot of hype surrounding it. One of these CNFTs actually sold for 6,000 ADA. So you can see people do value these. Now this is a rare one. Remember I told you guys you can go on and actually find the traits. If you click on them, for example, we'll use this one. You can find the traits below, and you want to go for a rarer one because they're going to sell for a higher amount. So those two are in the profit, Boss Cat Rocket Club and of course Space Apes. Let's take a look at Chilled Kongs, which we shouted out at 750. I actually saw Chilled Kongs at just over 100 ADA when I first sort of got onto them. Of course, didn't start making the series till a little bit later, but we were hinting that we were going to do something on Twitter. These guys have sold off significantly. Again, goes back to the fact, you can see here, this guy bought it for 105 ADA, 250. They're going to be very happy to sell at these prices, and people, just like in the crypto space, haven't quite grasped the concept that if you hodl, you'll gain a bigger reward. And for some people, that's not their game. They're looking to flip them. So it's understandable. That's why you get the floors of these prices moving down, because people undercut one another. For example, if the floor was 1,000 or 750 when we shouted this out, someone will go, I'll list mine for 745, and then someone will go, actually, I want to sell mine quick, so I'll list it at 73, and then I'll list it at 700 and so on. And that's where the floor prices drop. So you've got to flush those initial buys out. If these keep dropping, and we said we don't actually own one today, we will be buying up a couple of these at least to hold, because I like the project. I think it's a great project, and they've sold, some of these have sold for crazy money. I don't have any examples today for you. So the next thing is, of course, Goat Tribe. Now, I really like these guys. Have we got a Goat Tribe? The floor on here is 230. These have been a little bit higher, but we shouted these out at 190. So not a huge gain. But then again, you've got to remember the market has been going down during this time period. And you've actually been gaining ADA if you were flipping them, and sort of you've been holding your value more so, if you will. And that's, one thing that's been really interesting to watch. This is a project that I really like, actually. And some of these have been selling for quite a lot. And we own a couple of these, and we're going to continue to hold them into the future. Again, ready for that sort of CNFT boom that we're expecting. Now, the next project that we shouted out, that we added, and I will, when I get back home, guys, do an updated version of this, was ADA Apocalypse. It's what's in my Twitter. You can see this is an ADA Apocalypse. I thought it was cool, kind of a fortune teller kind of vibe, which is what many of us crypto YouTubers think we are. It's a joke. These were at 60. The floor is now 60. Now, they did go up significantly, but again, you've got people that bought them a lot cheaper that are going to be willing to sell at this price, or that bought them at mint price that are willing to sort of get rid of them. These guys have got an airdrop coming up. I think you have to own 4 zombies, so I'll receive a couple of whatever the airdrop will be. But I really like this project. I typically invest in things that I like. I also invest in things that have done well on Ethereum and those kind of projects. But we're going to talk about that well into the future. So still hold all of these, all the ones that I've got, and I'm going to continue to do so. I think the floor will rise. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And you can see they're still not too bad on the volume side of things. Where are they? Down here, they've still done quite well in terms of volume, and of course you've got the floor. And these are selling in the terms of, you've still got quite a few people buying these pretty frequently, which is a good sign. So if these drop any more, I'm always looking to pick CNFTs up. I'm diving into a number of other projects that I'm going to share with you, projects that I like. But these are still projects that I hold and I think are going to do quite well. And remember, they don't all need to do well. There's an element of risk here. Some of these could completely flop. We don't know what the future is going to hold. However, for me, I think there's a value proposition here. And if a couple of them do really well, like your Boss Cat Rocket Clubs, that's paid for quite a few of the CNFTs that I've got if I sold just today. So I'm a happy boy. So that's really all I have for you. We will keep you up to date on these and keep doing these updates regularly. I know you guys like them, so I'll keep them coming. And I'm very excited to get into some of the new projects that I'm diving into. And of course, with Ada Apocalypse, you had this one here, which of course, the Rick and Morty. I can't believe I didn't spot this one because I'd have bought this if it was a little bit cheap. I don't think I'd have quite paid $7,000 for it. But people are willing to buy these at these prices. And that's something that you've got to watch. And there's been a few that have sold relatively well. If we look at activity, you know, you can see that quite a few of them are selling significantly higher than the floor price. And that's something to pay attention to. And I'm trying to buy rare-ish ones of all of these. I'll probably pick up another couple of goats. Like I say, if the floor keeps dropping for these, I'll definitely be buying. But what you find is you find people bought these and then they realise that they're quite common in terms of the traits, so they'll be kind of getting rid of them. I mean, that's a cool one there with the glasses. But we'll see. If it keeps dropping, I'll ape him. Probably going to pick up some more Goat Tribe. Definitely pick up some more Ada Apocalypse, I think. I'm not affiliated with any of these. I've made really no contact with any of them. These are just projects that I like, and I think these guys will also do well. So that's really all I have for you. Remember, in the CNFT round, we're still very early. We're probably going to see, and this was something I retweeted, talking about the fact that we could see people moving from Ethereum NFTs to Cardano NFTs. Certainly retail, it's a lot more appealing because it's a lot cheaper. So it's all still to come. So that's really all I have for you. I'm going to love and leave you on that note, guys. If you've enjoyed the content, like is always appreciated. So as a comment, remember there is a link to our Discord in the description. And also we do have the stake pool. ALLIN is the ticker. Make sure you head over to Twitter and give me a follow. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching, guys.